Good morning, students. Welcome back to your classes. I'm Urvashi Messi, your economics teacher, and I'll be explaining you lesson 1 from economics, that is the story of village of Padapur. Okay? Now let's start with the reading and explanation. As you all are having your books with you, I request you all to please keep your books in front of you while watching this video, so that when you will read your books, it will be more easier for you to understand what I'm explaining in the video. The purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production, and this we do through a story of a hypothetical village called Palampur. Now, in the overview, in the introductory part, they have explained about the purpose, why this lesson is taught to you, why we are learning from this lesson. Actually, the purpose is to tell you about the basic concepts relating to production, and this they are trying to explain through the story of village Palampur. Farming is the main activity in Palampur, whereas several other activities such as small-scale manufacturing, dairy, transport, etc. are carried out on a limited scale. So the first question which comes is, what is the main occupation in Palampur? The main occupation is farming, and then other non-farming activities is dairy, manufacturing and other works, shopkeeping, transportation, etc. Now these production activities, as we have already read in your previous classes also, that the production activities, they require some kind of resources. So the resources are natural resources, man-made items and human effort and money, etc. As we read through the story of Palampur, we will learn how various resources combine to produce the desired goods and services in the village. Now the introduction, I am reading from page number 1 from your NCERT book, Economics. Palampur is well connected with neighbouring villages and towns. Raiganj, a big village, is 3 kilometers from Palampur. An all-weather road connects the village to Raiganj and further on to the nearest small town of Shahpur. Many kinds of transport are visible on this road, starting from bullock carts, tongas, bogies, that is the wooden cart drawn by the buffaloes, loaded with jaggery and other commodities, to motor vehicles like motorcycles, jeeps, tractors and trucks. So in this paragraph, in the introduction about Palampur, they are explaining you that Palampur is well connected to proper roads and transportation. This village has about 450 families belonging to several different castes. So here we come up with an MCQ. Here we have a question. This village has about 450 families belonging to several different castes. Now this is your book, children. I am reading from your NCERT economics books, okay? And we are doing the first paragraph from the introduction. Here they are explaining in this paragraph that there are 450 villages in Palampur, and out of these, 80 upper caste families own the majority of the land in the village. Their houses, some of them are quite large, and they are made of brick with cement plastering. Now the people who are from Valva families, they are living in good houses, they are living in a proper house which are made of cement and plasters, whereas those families who are not from a good family or who are poor, who are BPL classes, they are living in the huts and small houses which are not properly built. Okay. Next it explains electricity powers all the tube wells in the fields and is used in various types of small businesses. Palampur has 2 primary schools and 1 high school. How many schools are there? It is having 2 primary schools and 1 high school, and there is a primary health center which is run by the government and 1 private dispensary where the sick are treated. The description above shows, now this is an important paragraph, you need to pay attention to this, that the description till here what we have read, it shows here that Palampur has fairly developed a system of roads, transport, electricity, irrigation, schools and health centers. Compare these facilities with those in your nearby village. Now they have asked us to compare. with the facilities of the nearby villages. Muslim hope there are many villages who don't have these facilities. Okay. The story of Palampur, an imaginary village, will take us through the different types of production activities in the village. Now, as earlier I have explained that in this lesson we are going to read about the various resources used for production, the system of production. So, the organization of production. I am reading from page number 2. When you will be watching these videos, kindly open your books, keep them in front of you and go through your books, go through the pages, go through the lines thoroughly. Organization of production. The aim of production is to produce the goods and services that we want. Why we produce something? Because we require that thing. Okay. The aim of production is to produce the goods and services that we want. Why we want railways? So that we can travel from one place to another. That is an example of service. Goods. Why we require wheat? Why we require vegetables? Why we require fruits? Because these are the goods which we are using for our daily needs. So there are 4 requirements for the production of goods and services. The first requirement is land and the other natural resources such as water, forest and minerals. Now when we have to do any kind of production, for that we require land. अगर आपके पास ज़मीन नहीं है तो आप उस ज़मीन के बगैर कैसे काम करेंगे? अगर आपको कोई फैक्ट्री बनाना है, अगर आपको कोई बिल्डिंग खड़ा करना है जहाँ पे आपको सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करनी है किसी भी टाइप की, तो उसके लिए आपके पास ज़मीन होना ज़रूरी है. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग विच इज़ रिक्वायर्ड इज़ लैंड. द सेकेंड रिक्वायरमेंट इज़ लेबर. नाउ वी हैव लैंड, हमारे पास ज़मीन है, हमने उस ज़मीन पर बिल्डिंग बना ली, हमने हॉस्पिटल बना लिया, स्कूल बना लिया, या हमने उसके ऊपर दूसरी सर्विसेज गैराज बना लिया. बट देन आपके पास काम करने के लिए लेबर नहीं है. यू डोंट हैव द मैन पावर. इज एनी मशीन गोइंग टू वर्क ऑन इट्स ओन? या कोई मशीन अपने आप काम करेगी? या कोई टूल अपने आप काम करेगा? नहीं. उसको काम करने के लिए, उसके इस्तेमाल के लिए, उसको सही तरीके से यूज़ करने के लिए वी वांट manpower, that is labor. Now some production activities require highly educated workers to perform the necessary tasks. Other activities require workers who can do manual work. Now if you talk about building a dam, then no labor or a manual worker or a daily wage labor needs a supervisor, an engineer who is going to give them the guidance how to build that dam. तो एक डैम बनाने के लिए हमें एक ट्रेन्ड और एक अच्छे इंसान की ज़रूरत है जिसको सब कुछ आता है, उस डैम के बारे में उसकी नॉलेज है. ही नोज एवरीथिंग एंड ही इज प्रॉपरली ट्रेन्ड फॉर दैट वर्क. अदर एक्टिविटीज रिक्वायर वर्कर्स हु कैन डू मैनुअल वर्क. और जो छोटे काम हैं जिनमें मैनुअल वर्क से काम करा जा रहा है, वहाँ पर स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है. Each worker is providing the labor necessary for production. The third requirement is physical capital, that is the variety of inputs which are required at every stage during production. What are the items that come under physical capital? और जो थर्ड रिक्वायरमेंट है प्रोडक्शन की, किसी भी चीज़ के प्रोडक्शन के लिए जो तीसरी इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है, दैट इज़ फिजिकल कैपिटल. यानी वो सारी चीज़ें जो एक फाइनल प्रोडक्ट के बनाने के लिए, उसको तैयार करने के लिए, विच इज़ यूज्ड फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ द फाइनल प्रोडक्ट. सो विल जस्ट रिवाइज द फर्स्ट 3 मेन रिक्वायरमेंट्स फॉर द प्रोडक्शन इज, द फर्स्ट इज लैंड, ज़मीन. Second, labor, that is the manpower which will work, which will build a building there, and then you start working on in the building. And the third is physical capital. Now in physical capital, what all things are required for the production? First is tools, machines and buildings. Tools, machines range from very simple tools such as farmer's plot to sophisticated machines such as generators, turbines, computers, etc. You require tools and machinery. And tools, machines, buildings can be used in production every year. So they are fixed capital. Now tools, machinery, ये ऐसी चीज़ें हैं जिनका हम सालों साल इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. तो इन्हें हम बार बार इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, काफ़ी लंबे समय के लिए इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज़ वाई इट कम्स इन द कैटेगरी ऑफ फिक्स्ड कैपिटल. Next is raw materials and money in hand. Production requires a variety of raw materials such as the yarn used by the weavers and the clay used by the potter. Now, raw material. Until unless you have a raw material, you will not work on it, you will not process it, you will not take it under different manufacturing steps. जब तक आपके पास raw material नहीं है, आप final product नहीं बना सकते. Even for making cheese, what raw material is required? You require milk. और अगर milk ही नहीं है, तो कैसे बनाओगे आप cheese? How will you make it? So here, raw material is one of the basic needs. Also, some money is always required during production to make payments and buy other necessary items. Money, the most important resource. Money is always required for the better and proper circulation of resources and raw materials. आपको समय समय पे प्रोडक्शन के लिए एक प्रॉपर फाइनल प्रोडक्ट तैयार करने के लिए रिसोर्सेज का, रॉ मटेरियल्स का ज़रूरत पड़ेगा. और उस ज़रूरत को पूरा करने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? मनी चाहिए, पैसा चाहिए. Raw materials and money in hand are called working capital. Unlike tools, machines and buildings, these are used up in production. Now, raw materials and money in hand are called as working capital. There is a fourth requirement too. You will need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor, physical capital and produce an output either to use yourself or to sell in the market. Now one more thing is there. Until unless you don't know how to keep up all the things together, how to bring all the things together, how to coordinate with the things, चीज़ों को समय समय पे कैसे करना है, चीज़ों को साथ में कैसे लाना है, किस स्टेप को आपको पहले करना है, किसको दूसरे नंबर पे करना है, आप किसी भी चीज़ का प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर सकते. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू टेक अ वेरी सिंपल एग्जाम्पल, when your mother cooks chapatis at home, she goes step by step. The raw material she uses is flour, then she makes a dough out of that, then they rolls chapati and after preparation she gives it to you. So everything requires step by step. तो हर चीज़ का जो इस्तेमाल करने का तरीका है, किस चीज़ को कब सब किस समय करना है, that is also very important. Now as we are learning here that you will need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor and physical capital and produce an output either to use yourself or to sell in the market. Now these days is called as human capital. We shall learn more about human capital in the next lesson. Now here we have already discussed about physical capital, fixed capital, working capital and human capital. In the picture, now here you have a picture in the book here. They have shown you a picture. Now in the picture, identify the land, labor and fixed capital used in the production. Every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, which is known as factors of production. For example, you are asked and fill in the blanks or an MCQ. So here in this paragraph on page number 2, you have every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, which are known as factors of production. Now, farming in Palampur. Land is fixed and farming is the main production activity in Palampur. 75% of the people who are working are dependent on farming for their livelihood. Now farming, as I earlier also told you this, that farming is the main production activity in Palampur. Land is fixed. 75% people of Palampur are working and they depend on farming for their livelihood. They could be farmers or the farm laborers. The well-being of these people is closely related to production on the farms. Next here, on page number 3, by then some of the wastelands in the village had been converted to cultivable lands and there exists no further scope to increase farm production by bringing new land under cultivation. Now this is very much understood, children, that the land is not going to increase in size. Land will remain same. But as farming is the main occupation, the farmers have come up with different ways to grow more and more and different kind of crops on the same piece of land. You know, the land, if the land is this much, it will remain this much. But then the farmers and the farm laborers, they work really hard and they have come up with different ways to find out how to get good production from the same piece of land. Is there a way one can grow more from the same land? Now, is there a way कि एक ही जमीन के टुकड़े से, उसी same land से आप ज़्यादा production कर सकते हैं? This is in your book. It is asked here. See, page number 3. They have asked here, is there a way one can grow more from the same land? क्या कोई तरीका है जिससे एक particular ज़मीन के टुकड़े से ज़्यादा production किया जा सकता है? So, there is a way. In the kind of crops grown and facilities available, Palampur would resemble a village for the western part of the state of Uttar Pradesh. All land is cultivated in Palampur. Almost the land which is there in Palampur is used for farming. No land is left idle. During the rainy season, now what the farmers did? They started growing different kind of crops in different seasons. Now, during the rainy season, Kharif farmers grow jowar and bajra. So, what is grown in the rainy season? Kharif farmers, they grow jowar and bajra. These plants are used as cattle feed. Now, there are two uses of jowar and bajra. They are used by human beings also, whereas these plants are used as cattle feed. जानवरों का चारा भी बनता है. It is followed by cultivation of potato between October and December. On the same piece of land, they are growing potatoes in October and December, and in the winter season, rabi fields are sown with wheat. और winter season में वो rabi fields तैयार करते हैं और wheat grow करते हैं. From the wheat produced, farmers keep enough wheat for the family's consumption and sell the surplus wheat at the market at Raigad. और जब wheat का production होता है तो इनफ वीट यानी जितना होने चाहिए उतना वीट वो खुद के घर के उपयोग के लिए डोमेस्टिक यूज़ के लिए रखते हैं और बाकी वो जा करके मार्केट में सेल करते हैं. A part of the land area is also devoted to sugar cane, which is harvested once in a year, and sugar cane is also grown in Palampur once in a year. Sugar cane in its raw form as jaggery is sold to traders in Shahpur. और शुगर केन कहाँ बेचा जाता है? पालमपुर के पास शाहपुर में बेचा जाता है. Now, electricity came early to Palampur and its major impact was to transform the system of irrigation because earlier people were not having this irrigation facility. अब लोगों के पास में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई पूरा है पालमपुर में, तो वो लोग आर्टिफिशियल इरिगेशन जो प्रोसेस है, जो पर्पस है, वो सॉल्व हो गया उनका इरिगेशन का. आर्टिफिशियल मेथड से भी वे लैंड को इरिगेट करते हैं. इरिगेशन electricity came early to Palampur and its major impact was to transform the system of irrigation. Persian wheels were till then used by farmers to draw water from the wells and irrigate small fields. People saw that the electric run tube wells could irrigate much larger areas and land more effectively. और इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के कारण ज़्यादा ज़मीन पर ज़्यादा एरियाज में इरिगेशन अच्छे कम समय में किया जा सकता है. To grow more than one crop on a piece of land during the year, it is known as multiple cropping. तो एक ही ज़मीन के टुकड़े पे same piece of land they are growing different kind of crops according to different seasons. So this is known as multiple cropping system. It is most common way of increasing the production on a given piece of land. Moving further, we come to page number 4. Yield is measured as a crop production on a given piece of land during a single season. Now here in your book you have different graphs and bar graphs, and they have also given you surveys and diagrams. When you will be watching this video, I already asked you to keep your books with you. That time please go through these bar diagrams and these surveys and these diagrams. They have shown here how electricity in this figure, in figure 1.4, they have shown here how electricity is helpful in irrigation. Now, the Green Revolution in the late 1960s introduced the Indian farmer to cultivation of wheat and rice using high-yielding varieties of seeds compared to the traditional seeds. Now, here in this paragraph, the Green Revolution, Indian farmers, they were given a support with the help of high-yielding variety seeds, which helped our Indian farmers to grow wheat and rice in surplus. ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन की शुरुआत 1960s में जब की गई तो इंडियन फार्मर्स के लिए हाई यील्डिंग वैरायटी सीड्स तैयार किए गए, जिनकी मदद से इंडियन फार्मर्स ने सरप्लस ज़रूरत से कई गुना ज़्यादा वीट और राइस का प्रोडक्शन हमारे देश में किया. As a result, the same piece of land would now produce far larger quantities of food grains than was possible earlier. And because of the high-yielding variety of seeds and Green Revolution, a large production of different types of crops, cereals and grains was possible. Coming to page 5, farmers of Punjab, Haryana and Western Uttar Pradesh were the first to try out the modern farming methods in India, and the farmers in these regions set up tube wells for irrigations and made use of HYV seeds, chemical fertilizers and pesticides in farming. Now, earlier farmers were also not, they were actually not trained, and they were not having the education, the knowledge of how to work in different systematic manner by which they can improve the production. कैसे किस तरीके से वो अपने फार्मिंग मेथड्स को और अपने लैंड को ज़्यादा प्रोडक्टिव बना सकते हैं. Then the government of India started working under Green Revolution, different trainings, different programs, different schemes. Even government started providing loans to the farmers, and there were thousands of facilities provided to the farmers so that they can start with better production. In Palampur, the yield of wheat grown from the traditional varieties was 1300 kg per hectare. With HYV seeds, the yield went up to 3200 kg per hectare. Now they have explained here, they have given you a comparison. जब manually farmers irrigation करते थे, farming करते थे, तो उस समय per hectare पे जो yield था, यानी जो production था, वो सिर्फ 1300 kg था. और जब HYV सीड्स का हाई यील्डिंग वैरायटी सीड्स का इस्तेमाल किया जाने लगा, उन्हें इसकी नॉलेज दी गई, उन्हें इसके इस्तेमाल के बारे में बताया गया, इसके रिजल्ट्स के बारे में बताया गया, इसके बेनिफिट्स के बारे में बताया गया, तो जो प्रोडक्शन था वो बढ़ गया. लैंड वाज सेम but the production increased. It increased from 1300 to 3200 per hectare. Now I would also like to tell you one more thing. There are certain numbers and there are certain surveys and figures which may be different in some of the economics books, because some children are having old books and some children are having revised books. तो कई बच्चों की बुक्स में आपको जो सर्वेज हैं, जो डेटाज हैं, जो नंबर्स दिए गए हैं, उसमें आपको डिफरेंस मिलेगा. सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट. You just have to go through the video, and I hope you all are getting everything clear. Next is the land sustain. Now, what do you understand by land sustain? Now, we are talking here that how we can increase the productivity of the land, and we also just now only I have explained that they started with multiple cropping system. तो क्या ज़मीन में इतना पावर है कि वो पूरा साल प्रोडक्शन दे सकती है? क्या ज़मीन जो है उसको सस्टेनेबल टाइम मिल रहा है अपने खुद के लिए, अपने खुद को वापस फर्टाइल बनाने के लिए? Land being a natural resource, it is necessary to be careful in its use. Scientific reports indicate that the modern farming methods have overused the natural resource. Now here what they are trying to explain is कि अगर आप पूरा साल एक ही ज़मीन पर अलग अलग टाइप के क्रॉप्स ग्रो कर रहे हो तो उस ज़मीन को रेस्ट नहीं मिलता. Everyone requires rest. So here the farmers, when they were using modern methods, they were actually overusing the land. In many cases, Green Revolution is associated with the loss of soil fertility due to increased use of chemical fertilizers. Continued use of groundwater for tube well irrigation has led to the depletion of the water table Environmental resources like soil fertility and groundwater are built up over years. Now here in the end, they are trying to explain that because they were continuously using resources, water resources, land resources, because of that there was depletion in the water table. जो ज़मीन के नीचे ग्राउंड वाटर था वो डिप्लीट होता गया, कम होता गया, क्योंकि बहुत सारे फर्टिलाइजर्स, पेस्टिसाइड्स, इंसेक्टिसाइड्स का इस्तेमाल किया गया, इसलिए लैंड जो था वो अपनी फर्टिलिटी खोने लगा. सो अगेन दे हैव आस्क्ड हियर इन द एंड दैट इफ वी वांट गुड प्रोडक्शन वी नीड टू give time to land for sustainability. Now children, we have covered many major points from this lesson. I request you all to go through till these points, and then when I will take your online class from 6th of July onwards, I will be explaining you everything again. If you have any problem, we will discuss it through our online classes, and we will also send you worksheets and classwork. Any problem you have, we will discuss it when we have a class. Okay.